Welcome back, everybody. Automotive Inc. Today we are talking about the 2025 Ford Super Duty. A few weeks ago, I went over the changes that are and aren't going to happen for the 25. Again, 26 is going to be the year where I do believe they get a refresh the exterior. I don't think the interior is going to change a lot, but they are supposedly going to implement a hybrid. So today we're going to talk about the 2025 and how you might want to order it, things you might want to consider if you're going to order one or if you're going to find a 2024. Before we get started, if you'll smash the subscribe button down there in the corner, hit the notification bell so you know when I'm posting new content, and a thumbs up to the video is always appreciated. It helps the small channel out. As you guys know, I did videos on this a few weeks ago. The ordering banks are now open for the 2025 Ford Super Duty. And not a lot of big changes, but some of the changes may affect most of you. One is if you're deciding on ordering a 25 over buying a current 24 that's inbound, I will tell you that the base price of every model did go up a couple grand. So that right there could be a deciding factor. In addition to that, the 7.3 Godzilla is now an option on lower trim models and standard on Lariat and above. I'm sorry, not Lariat and above Lariat. So, and we'll go over pricing on that real quick. So first things first, if you guys head to the Ford website, you'll see the 2024 once you click on Super Duty, and way over here you can see the 2025 Super Duty link. So go ahead and click that. All right, that brings up the 2025 Super Duty page. And of course you can see the build and price thing right there. Again, they did tweak some specs here and there, nothing crazy. They didn't bump anything when it came to payload or anything like that. So we can go ahead and hit the build and price. Now, you're not going to find one on inventory near you yet, so go ahead and click the model. So before you get doing that, things I want you to do, I'm going to link Ford's PDF for the 2024 tow specs. The 2025 one is not out yet, but I'll link that down below. So first things first, decide what you need out of your truck, how much you're going to tow now or potentially in the future, because you have to forecast that. You don't want to order your truck of your dreams and then find out you did not get enough. So what I can tell you is that the specs will only be better than they were in the 2024. So breeze over those. Make sure you pay attention to the little asterisks, the little number ones behind the tow ratings, and see, go down the little paragraph and read what that exclusion means, because you don't want to be caught with ordering the wrong, especially the rear gear ratio. You don't want to order the wrong one. So as we cruise over here, so after you've figured out your tow specs and decide if an F250, F350, or F450 is going to be your truck or your choice, I want you to take into consideration two things. For 2025, Ford is dropping the Super Cab on anything above XLT. So if we go over here and click F250, you can see that you're not going to be able to get a Super Cab in a Lariat trim or above anymore. And the little sidebar to that is it does offer a 6 3/4 and an 8-foot bed, but according to Ford is they're going to limit that to the long bed, standard or extended cab or Super Cab. Now that cab configuration might be important to a lot of people. They don't have passengers they intend on taking it. Really, the price difference between a crew cab and a extended cab is not that much. So take into consideration your if you carry dogs in the back seat, having that extra room in the back seat, extra storage back there, that's a huge consideration. And then if you're a person that unloads your vehicle often, think about resale. Super Cabs do not have as good as resale. They are a little bit harder because people use trucks now to haul all their people. So if you want a lower trim and you want a Super Cab, you're not going to be able to get it either on the dually anymore. So I know there were a lot of people that were farmers, ranchers that really enjoyed that Super Cab because they don't haul a lot of people. That cab gave them a lot of room, and they wanted the truck to still have a long bed but have a shorter cab. So that is going to be something that you're going to take into consideration if you need a dually. So for me, I always go crew cab. Then of course make sure you choose your bed length that you prefer, and if you want a single wheel or dual rear wheel. So here's the problem is they do allow that icon to be chosen. Even though it's an F250, you're not going to get an F250 dually. So just keep that into consideration. So you can click your bed style, And of course, single rear wheel is going to be the option there. You can kind of see that they do have the base pricing out now on all of those models. And for me personally, I like the Lariat. But if you need to know, you can click into these details and see what the standard options are. Just remember, if there is an asterisk on there, that you read the little side things, because usually it's just covered in there behind when they say, you know, some packaging may not be available. So that's up to Ford to decide. So you may pick it, and then once you go to Ford to order it, they may say, hey, this option is no longer available. You'll have to make a corporate decision if you want to keep going with the order or whatnot. Another thing to consider, guys, is, you know, depending on the packaging that you're looking at, the color schemes are not available on all of them. But now we do have pricing on packaging. So as I said before, the 6.8 is now standard on Lariat and down. So if you are a gas guy and you want that, then you can pick that. But you can see right here that the 7.3 is only a $1,000 option. Now, me personally, if you're over 10,000 towing or project yourself as being over 10,000 in towing, go 7.3 if you're going to get gas, period. Okay. Now, when it comes to the HO diesel and the standard diesel, if you're going F250, just get the standard diesel. To be honest with you, it makes no sense, even with the payload package, to get that HO in an F250. But if you like spending money, you are looking at a big price difference. As you can see, the standard diesel is 10.4 and the high output is 12.995. So that is a big difference. Another thing, guys, is Ford is doing this year. So with the 6.8, you got the torque shift G10 speed, which is a little bit less robust and a little bit different ratios. So if you want to get the 7.3 in an F250, you're going to have to add the trimmer package now, which kind of sucks because I think everybody wants that more robust transmission. But now with the 7.3 option, you will get the lower G 10-speed automatic. So keep that in consideration. But if you click over here, you'll see by wanting the upgraded transmission, you have to go to the trimmer package. It's $43.75. So you'll have to decide if that's what you want. So we'll go ahead and click no on that for now. So that is a big thing. If you want to know information about it, you can see right there that it has the same drive modes, but again, it's a different transmission. As you cruise through here, this is one of the biggest thing I think a lot of people miss is the axle ratios and what it means. So when you go to Ford's tow website page, that again will be linked below to see the tow specs, you'll see that the biggest consideration is, and this is why you'll see a lot of like 24 diesels out there that are a little bit cheaper, and you're like, wonder why? Well, it's because they have a 331 non-locker, and if you look at the tow specs, it changes it quite a bit. So for me, always order the locker, period. And again, when it comes to tow specs, I always say get 10 to 20% more truck than what you need, so you never have to sweat it. So if you're at 10,000 below, 6.8 might be a good option. I would still shoot for the 373 or 355 on that one. You obviously can't get the 430 on it. Now when you go to the F350, you can get the 430 without the trimmer package and still get that extra boost, but you want the locker. Again, you'll see in the tow specs it changes it by 2,000 pounds. Now if you're over 10,000, and this is my experience and what I've been hearing back from guys that have driven 6.8 in work trucks, is it's a dog. It's not good at engine grade braking compared to the 7.3, and it's just not as powerful. And for whatever reason, whether it's the gear ratios or just being less powerful than the Godzilla, if gas is your thing, I think that $1,000 is a well worth option for you. I don't honestly think that you're going to lose that much fuel economy going to the 6.8. Again, you still have a heavy truck. It's going to be the same weight, so I don't think that behooves you. So you can see right here, your axle ratios for the diesel are 331 and 355. The rest of these are going to be the gas options, and you can see that they still have a 355 locker, but if you see right here, it's the same price to go to a 373 locker. Locker. Don't get the non-slip edition. So as we cruise down here, you can see that they added all the packages. If you want to see what's in these packages and the cost of them, click the little down icon right there. And then once you start to add it, because this is already a Lariat, it basically shows you what you're getting. And anything that's not a standard option, you can see that the prices are right here. So if you want the ultimate package, click on the little icon. It'll tell you what it is going to get within that package. And as you guys know, Loki does have the ultimate package,
minus the power running boards. I really like that package. I think it's well worth it, but you can see it comes at a heavy price. Just adding the Ultimate and the trimmer, you're talking almost 10 G's. So you're gonna have to take that in consideration. Now, if you're an off-roader, you need extra ground clearance, I would say that the Tremor off-road package is well worth it. You can see what they add into there. Again, some of this is just oblique stuff like textured matte finish, whatever. But really, when it comes down to the beefy rear end, the front limited slip, all of that stuff, and then have that extra ground clearance, you can see. They also do put the exclusions here of what that package is not available in. But again, as I've discussed before, you can get the Tremor in an F350, and both the Tremor and the Chevy ZR2 don't lose towing capability like the Power Wagon. Another thing I would definitely take a look at is gooseneck tow prep. This package is well worth it. This gives you the puck system and the gooseneck puck system setup so you can do it. Now, if you're not going to be an off-roader and you're just going to be, going through some bad areas, fields, whatnot, FX4 package is a nice little middle ground when it comes to stuff. It's very similar to the Z71. Gives you some skid plates. If you click on it right here, it does give you the hill descent control. Skid plates, who cares about the stickers? But at the end of the day, it does give you just a little bit more added protection, and at $495, not a bad deal. When you come down here, I would also encourage you, if you have an overhead camper or intend on towing, is the Snowplow Camper Package. And what that does is, guys, is it also gives you the certification for your overhead camper. So a lot of people think that they can just buy a truck and do that. Some of these pickups are not certified for it. That may cause some issues if there is a warranty claim. But what it does is give you all of the extra stuff, and it's very, very cool. Now, you can't get it with the Tremor Off-Road Package, but you can get it with the FX4. And if you do the heavy service front end for like the snowplow prep, that's up to you guys. If you intend on doing that, I would definitely add it. These are important options, and they are not as expensive as others, so I think they're well worth it. Now, you can go here and add for F250, add the axle upgrade here, and that's up to you if you want to do that. But again, that's where all of those little disclaimers are on the towing website themselves. And as you come down here, you can pick your wheel choices. Nothing mind-blowing this year. They kept that ugly, almost looks like a six-shooter barrel in a revolver. I'm not a huge fan of that one, but the Tremor wheel and everything like that. Again, these are the wheel choices for Lariat. Another thing that you can look at, like I said, because now we can see pricing. Now you can option it. You can see the blue rings is what is standard on this stuff. So that's, again, standard on Lariat. There is the 12,000 pound winch, so I guess it's only like $4,200. That's up to you if you need a winch. Again, from the factory, guys, whether you want to add all these tonneaus and stuff, they're about the same as anything you're getting on the aftermarket, but they'll have installed it at the dealer when it comes in. A lot of these are dealer installed options. One thing I would recommend is the Tough Bed spray on the bed liner. It's warranted forever through Ford, and it is a very high quality, and they put the little embossed Ford emblem in the front of the bed. I think that's pretty cool, and like I said, it's right on par with what you're going to get locally, so I think that that's really good, and there's just nothing that's going to do that better than a robot at the factory. So let's see here. Trailer step, or tailgate step, I'd recommend that if getting in your bed is going to be something you're going to need to do a lot, because the side steps are really nice, and the bumper steps are nice, but the tailgate step is really good. Wheel well liners front and rear. I think you got to get these things. Now, there are plenty of better ones on the aftermarket. I always install Husky liners on mine because they're a hard composite plastic, versus the OEM ones are going to be like this cardboard bendable fiber looking stuff with mesh, and they don't clean up easily. They don't clean up well. You get stuff stuck in them and you have to peel it off. It pulls off that fiber and kind of looks like loose wool. So I would say get the front ones from Ford, and then just save the packaging for later aftermarket, because they're super easy to install. And I know a lot of people are saying, well, it's a 25 though. How am I going to find those? Guys, they didn't change anything from 23, and everything's out there. So you can buy a 23 wheel well liner for like $150 and get those put on yourself. As you come down here, a gooseneck hitch kit, that's up to you guys. You can buy one aftermarket, but they're about the same price. And I like the Ford one just over the other ones, and it comes in a nice case. So that's going to give you the little shackles to tie down your gooseneck and the ball itself, the 2 5/16 ball. and I think it's rated at 20,000, so you should be good. Now you can see right here, secure keyless entry pad. I don't think it's going to show us a picture here, but it's no longer a stand-on option. One of my favorite things about my Fords is in the past, that keypad on there. It's not gimmicky. It's super cool. It's super great. It's very secure, but you know, you can use just a code that you can change. It used to be standard on XLT and above. It no longer is. It's taken away, and it's a dealer installed option, but you can add it to your window sticker because Ford just boxes up all your gifts and puts them in the back seat of the truck, and they install it at the dealer. So for me personally, I'm going to miss it coming from the factory because I think they just do a better job than at the dealer, but I would definitely recommend that for 225, especially if you like to lock your keys in the car and go kayaking or do something like that, is you can go up and do that. Again, you can use the app for life because when you buy a Ford, it is for life to do the unlock and lock from your phone. But if you don't have cell service or poor cell service, it's not going to work. So as we cruise through the rest of these guys, you can just see right here, again, the only reason why the other ones didn't have prices is because those are standard option on a Lariat. Now, I would highly encourage you, if you're not getting a diesel, is go with a dual alternator setup. And you can see right here what that's going to add. It is included on some of the trim levels and on the snowplow prep. But at the end of the day, I would highly encourage you to do that because these trucks have so many charging issues, and you've seen the videos on Loki, and it's just, I would get the dual alternator setup and dual battery if it is an option, which I haven't seen anymore on here, but I'd highly recommend it. As for chicken feet light, those are the cab marker lamps, $95. They're sealed by Ford, warranty by Ford. I'd highly encourage you to get those. Most people like them on their trucks, but if you're a person that doesn't, it's not an expensive option to add. Again, when it comes to BoxLink, you have to order the actual pieces now because they consider BoxLink the actual just plates because they change the plates so you can actually use them 99.9% of the time. That is the BoxLink. If you don't order that, which it is standard on Lariat, it's just the plates. That is BoxLink now. You're going to have to order BoxLink on lower trims because otherwise you'll just have 4 holes in a flat, not even cut out piece of metal or anything like that. You can see right here that they have the sliding back window and everything. When it comes to the interior, still have Baja, still have black. You can go and pick those options. I like the Baja. Color mats, color coordinated carpet. Those are basically junk. I would definitely encourage you to go with a actual aftermarket one like Husky liners. I don't like the other ones, the WeatherTech, but because they're just not a grippy. But the Ford factory all-weather ones, the back seat always slides forward and doesn't cover the carpet 24/7. Another huge option I would look at too is power on board. And what that does is gives you the ability more over just the plug-in that Chevy gives you. And it's only $985, and it's actually a very powerful setup. And we'll see what the hybrid does in 2026 because that may actually give you more options with power. But at $985, I would snag that if you're a person that needs to work in the wild without a generator. That will run a lot of different smaller tools, so that's worth it. Max recline seats. There's the dual battery setup, 210. Get that, get that, get that. Even if you don't do the dual alternator, get that dual battery setup because it will help a lot. I had that in Kong, and I've had that my last Super Duty. Definitely get it. Upfitter switches again, only $165 if that's your thing. And the rest of this stuff is just kind of things that you don't need. They do offer the delete kit for your carpet in Lariat, but I like carpet. And then again, you can see all the standard features and basically pricing if you're going to add them. You can look through some thumbnails here if you kind of want to get an idea of what it's going to do. And then you can say get an internet price. Now, just because you can build on this website, again, it comes down to actually taking this, printing this out, sharing it with the dealer. They have a couple different ways of sharing it, saving the builds and everything. The dealer is the end all when it comes to ordering. You can't do anything with this other than build it and print it out and go into them. Hopefully that dealer will work with you and say, okay, well, this packaging comes with this. If we do this, they know the numbers and they'll be able to give you a very similar price. Again, if you guys do order run, I don't know if most dealers require a deposit anymore. Some do, some don't. And when it comes in, you'll be subject to the rebates that are currently available at that time. So just because you see a 24 on heavy discount doesn't mean you're going to go in and on a special order and discuss some type of a break on pricing with that. So, at the end of the day, I would say go for a 24 because there's not any great changes. They added avalanche and changed the red, and the red basically looks the same, but avalanche is a really cool gray. So if color options, those are the two you absolutely had to have. They did change those, so that may be something too. And you will pay, depending on the color scheme, a small amount for a different paint. So at the end of the day, I hope that helps. That's how I would order it, guys, is I would go for meat and potatoes. A Lariat is a very nice package without all the extra fluff. The other packages are beautiful. They're nice. But they're gonna come at a price. But really, the biggest option is making sure that you check your towing needs, get the right engine. $1,000, you go Godzilla all day of the week over the 6.8, and make sure that you pick the right transmission and that you forecast for your needs ahead of time. Again, pricing went up, and there's not gonna be any discounts on it. So there may be one out there. You can go to whatever. You can use that tool where it says find it for you, and they might find a 24. Those ones might have discounts, they may not, but it's worth a shot because there's no distinctive differences in the 2025. Again, you're losing the super cab on dualies and more up trim models. You're losing secure key access, and then you're obviously taking a bigger price hit. But all in all, the packaging is basically similar to what it was last year, and the numbers aren't that vastly much different. As always, guys, that's how you're going to want to order a 2025 Ford Super Duty, and you can do the homework to make sure you get what you need, and you can use the information here today just to help you along the way. Catch you on the next one.